Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this regularly scheduled meeting of the Vader City Council. It is 7:33 a.m. on Friday, July 10th, 2020. Roll call.
Donna Rogers. Here. Jason Daly.
Jason is not here and he has not contacted me.
Joe Shy.
Here.
Mike Parsons.
Mike did talk to me and he is not able to attend this morning.
Samantha Lovelady.
Here.
Randy Hall.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have quorum. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mayor's report. I want to announce that the governor did extend the Open Public Meetings Act and Public Records Request emergency provisions through at least August 1st. That our public hearing on the 8th Street moratorium is scheduled for August 14th, 2020 at the regular City Council meeting. And that as far as the 8th Street moratorium is going, we're trying to source a grant to fund our regulation update so that we don't have to expend too much city funds on that. Council reports.
Oh, okay. I have I don't know if it's really a report, but I certainly have a concern about the attorney bill.
Can you speak up just in case?
Okay, so my concern is that we have the city planner and a planning committee member communicating with the attorney. Now, the planning committee is no more than an information gathering group for the city council, and they have no business, in my opinion, nor does our city planner that we're paying for, dealing with anything legal. As far as I'm concerned, they have no business contacting the attorney. That is your job, and I don't believe you can delegate that. And even in here, we have double standards where you have called, I think you talked to the attorney, and then it says R.E. The same from Scott Gross. So that's double standard that's going on here. You're talking to him, he's talking to him. He in no way represents the city in any legal dealings, nor does Gary Cooper.
You don't think if the city our planning committee chair has a question about something that I've asked him to work on and he needs to ask the city planner for advice, that he shouldn't be allowed to do that?
Anything doing with the attorney, that should go through you. Even in the council members handbook, nobody's supposed to talk to that attorney except council members, and that usually they recommend only with the mayor's permission. But these people talking to our city attorney all the time, they in no way represent this city in any legal dealings at all.
Well, I can say that it is not all the time. It's only been maybe a couple of emails that Scott has been copied on as far as dealings with the city attorney.
Well, he should be going through you to do that, and you should be the
What
one
makes you
dealing with
think
the
that
attorney.
he didn't go through?
Obviously, I was aware of it because
Yeah.
I was on the email chain.
That's not the point
there
I'm
is nothing
making.
that says they can't talk to him and give him information.
The point I'm making is that you are the one that's supposed to be dealing with the attorney, not everybody else. Just you or a council
No,
member.
the bylaws don't say that.
Have
He
you-
has to approve.
Excuse me.
He has to approve of it.
No, he does
But
not. This is not open for people off the street talking to the attorney in any way, shape, or form.
He's on people off the street, number one.
Well,
And
you
number
should
two,
start
they have
reading the
permission. They have permission from the mayor to do so. Your point is invalid.
No, it's not
And that's-
invalid.
yes,
It's
it is.
spending-
Yes, it is.
Well, I'll take
They
that
have, they have
under,
permission.
I'll take that under advisement. There are certain issues that if our planning chair needs to discuss, I mean, obviously I need to be part of that discussion, so I'm aware of it, but it's
Well, you're the one that needs to be dealing with the attorney.
He is the one
And,
that's
I, and,
dealing
I'm,
with the
and
attorney.
I'm
Will
in,
you please keep quiet? I
No,
was
I don't.
talking.
hey, folks, it's okay
I
here.
don't
We're
interrupt
not-
you, and I'd appreciate it if you would get him under control.
And I'm asking, we don't need to be yelling at each other this morning. I understand what you're saying, but there are times when Scott has a question, and I guess I could be a middleman and him tell me, and then I relay it to somebody else.
Well, that's
But
the
that
way it's
seems like an
supposed to work.
inefficient way of doing it, especially when he can just copy me on it. And it has only been a few times. I mean, really, just like
To the point of $400 for the one time?
it doesn't take much.
Yeah, well, that's my point.
Mhm.
Any questions that need to go to the attorney should be going through you, not anybody else.
Okay.
And I don't think that you should be delegating that to anybody else.
I'm trying to use the planning committee, for example, the way that you've always asked us to use the planning committee, which is get them more involved, and they are more
But
involved.
their part of their job is not dealing with the attorney. They are an information gathering group only. They are not representing the community in any legal way.
All right.
That's up to you.
Any other
That's just my point.
any other council reports?
I just wanted to ask about, I know we still, apparently we still allow septic and septic tanks instead of sewer, connected to the sewer. Would you not allow that anymore, right? Just want clarification.
Right. I believe that like the septic tank would need to be approved through county. I believe county would have to do that, and with city utility being available, that they wouldn't let them have it.
Okay.
If there are a few homes around town that still have old septics
Right.
from years and years past, but there aren't that many, and there wouldn't be any new
Or are
ones.
they in the city area?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we shouldn't, I know that a lot of cities require them eventually to hook up to the sewer.
Yeah, I think if they went to apply to redo their septic, like if it failed finally, the
Yeah.
county would probably deny them and say, no, you need to hook up to city. I think that's the way it's supposed to work.
Well, I was thinking more in terms of not wait for that, but give them a moratorium that they have a certain amount of time to hook up to the sewer, that they must hook up to it. Because it's an environmental thing, it affects the water system. I think we should eventually make sure everybody is on it.
I think the idea is that if you wait long enough, eventually the septic fails, and then they're required to hook up. So I don't think how many
Everybody in the city within 150 feet of a sewer main is required to connect to the sewer.
Okay.
how many homes now do we have that are receiving just water service and not septic? Do we know that
We
anymore?
don't know that. The county won't provide that information to us. I know that we just built 221 homes for sewer
Hmm.
this week.
Any other council reports? Agenda approval. I do not have any other additions to the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda for the city council meeting on 7/10/2020 as written.
We have a motion by Ms. Lovelady to approve the city council meeting for July 10th, 2020. Do we have a second?
A second.
Seconded by Mr. Hull. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Donna, did you vote?
Oh, aye.
Aye, okay. So we have 3 in favor. Motion passes. Minutes approval. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the city council meeting on 6/26/2020.
We have a motion by Ms. Lovelady to approve the city council minutes from June 26, 2020. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Voucher approval. We have a motion to approve the vouchers.
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers for the beginning of July in the total of $21,803.94.
We have a motion by Ms. Lovelady to approve the vouchers as written. Do we have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mr. Hall. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Special reports. Do we have any special reports? I don't think we do. It's not the first of the
Should be
month.
from the sheriff.
So, oh, this is the first. Sheriff's Office. Mr. Engelbertson, are you there?
I'll even open up my window so you can see me here. Yes, I can tell you that for the month of June, for our monthly report, we had a total of 348 citizen contacts. We had 7 calls that we responded to while we were scheduled to work Vader shifts. 11 that we responded to not while scheduled, so a total of 18 calls. We had 13 traffic stops resulting in, looks like 4 infractions. No arrests this month, so no criminal activity. Hopefully that's an indication of something good. Yeah, and the only thing I can really report on, we had a meeting last night on this whole, governor's order to wear masks in businesses, and businesses can, refuse service. Are we going to write citations for that? How involved are we going to get? And I know for the sheriff's office, they're really stressing an education for us to give these people more of an education instead of, citations at this point. So obviously you guys have businesses down here that could be affected by that. So, notwithstanding someone getting actually disorderly or something in the business, that becomes a totally different issue. So other than that, we're going to try to educate at this point and see how that goes. So
Okay.
any questions by the council?
Questions? We have a question from Ms. Costello.
Would you ask him if we have crime in Vader, and if so, what type?
Could you hear that?
Can you speak up?
She said, do we have crime in Vader and what type?
Unfortunately, yes, you have crime in Vader. Mostly, it kind of runs the board. You don't have that much compared to other parts of the county. I will say that you guys are actually pretty lucky. I mean, everybody has their problem people, but from what I've seen in the past, years and years ago, I actually think your crime is down from even 4, 5, 6 years ago. We get a lot of, well, not a lot, but the ones I've seen are, the small thefts, people stealing little things, not amounting to much. I mean, we don't have a lot of burglaries, things like that. We've had a few in the past. It kind of runs the gamut.
Basically, stolen gas here and there, but no actual break-ins, robberies, big things.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. We haven't. I'm just trying to think of the last burglary we had, but it was to a building that hadn't been occupied. The stuff had been sitting there a long time, so it's we're not getting home invasions and, things where people are coming in while people are in there. It's the crimes of more opportunity. They see something sitting there and they'll take it type of thing. But, not a lot of violent crime, obviously. You guys would probably hear more about that, so.
Perfect, thank you.
All right. She says
I did read,
she says thank you.
In the paper about 2 guys doing citizen patrols. Did you see that article?
Yeah. There's a group of citizens in town that have gotten together, kind of like a neighborhood watch type program, and they're just in the evenings they're walking around in pairs, just walking the town, just making sure everyone knows that there are people watching, and they're in contact with the sheriff's office, and they've gotten advice on that, and it's a great thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up actually because I saw it in the paper.
Yeah, and actually they've got, when I was talking with Jason Rayfield about it, they've got quite a few people, a few dozen people involved. So it's really great.
That's reducing the pay theft as well, hopefully.
Yeah, if people are just out and being observant, that's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like you say, we've had contact with them and talked about the do's and don'ts and not getting too involved. I mean, I'm all for more eyes out there and reporting to the sheriff's office any potential illegal activity. I mean, that's great for us to follow up on, but they also hopefully have their boundaries where they won't go too far. So,
Great. Any other questions for the sergeant?
Did he have any fireworks incidents?
what was that?
He was asking, Councilmember Hall asked if there were any incidences with fireworks this last week.
Not on my list that I can see. I didn't specifically look for firework calls, but
There was
I guess I don't have
boom.
that. That's July.
That's why I popped it up.
Oh, that's July. That's why you haven't rolled it up yet, because you're talking
Right.
about June. Okay. All right. Any other questions? No? All right. Thank you very much, Sergeant.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to city business. Item number 1. Council to consider Resolution 15-2020 MRSC Small Works Rosters Contract Renewal. So this is something we don't have to use, but it is something that is very advantageous for the city. It allows us to quickly contact contractors for work that we need around the city that have already been vetted and approved. So we need to renew this every year.
How many people do we have on our small works roster?
Well, this one, the MRSC Small Works roster is
Quite large.
it's huge. Yeah, it's the statewide system.
And for grant money, we are required to use this list.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
Yes, and up to any project, a certain amount of money, the city's required to follow state regulations.
Okay. Do we have a motion by the council? Discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 15-2020 as written.
We have a motion by Ms. Lovelady to approve Resolution 15-2020 for the MRSC Small Works Rosters Contract Renewal. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Seconded by Mr. Hall. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
I
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, the last item of city business. Council to consider authorizing the hire of a temporary public work employee for 11 weeks. So the idea is that right now, in the summer months, John is spending all of his time trying to keep up with grass, more or less. And I would rather not him spend all of his time at $20-something an hour cutting grass when we could hire someone at $13.50 an hour to cut grass, and then let John use the nice weather to actually do things around the city that he can't do in the wintertime. So the idea is that we would hire a temporary employee, someone 18 and over, between now and the end of September, when during the growing season, I guess you would call it. The total cost for a program like that, with all the Social Security, medical, L&I, and all of that, is $2,605 to do that for the next 11 weeks. And I'm actually going forward, I would like, if it's successful, I'd like to see the city work this into the budget every year, and just have us in May start advertising so that we can have this every single year. Any discussion on that? Any ideas?
Funds to cover it?
We do.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, my only concern was if we had the funds, but if we do, it will definitely save us money paying John. He can do other stuff that needs to get done.
Yep. We do have a comment from Ms. Costello.
I was just going to say, I do believe, I think we've done this in the past.
Yeah, I think, Diane, you mentioned that to me, that you believe we did this in the past as well. The far past.
With another public works person. It seems to me like there was a time frame that they hired someone. It's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any of those programs where the state pays all of their benefits and you pay half wage?
I don't know. Who do you talk to find out about that?
I'll have to look on my employer thing. Usually we get stuff for like summer help where you can hire someone and they will pay half.
Okay. Well, that would be really neat.
So I'll get back to you and let you know.
That would be great. Yeah, let me write that down too so I can look into that. Didn't even think about that there might be some type of grant things for summer temporary employment. So.
I think it's like it's almost like a work source direction, that it's just kind of helping someone get accustomed to doing their job or whatever.
No, that would be great. That would be perfect for them, for something like that. Any other discussion?
No, I think
Ideas?
it's a great idea. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Could we have a motion on that? I guess I'll say, do we have a motion to do that?
I motion to approve the temporary summer job.
We have a motion by Mr. Hall to approve a temporary public works employee. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Lovelady. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Great. We will advertise that and try to have someone right away. Judy, I did see you have your hand up earlier.
For public comment.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to public comment then.
Oh.
Public comment.
She asked it already.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I did
Oh, okay.
go to sign up. I would like to at public comment.
Okay. All right, moving on to public comment.
I'm going to go up to the speaker. Judy Costello, 709 A Street, Vader. We have our upcoming citywide yard sale, August the 1st and 2nd, which is a Saturday and Sunday this year. Time will be 8 to 4 or until you're through. If you do not want to participate on Sunday, just take your sign down. Maps will be available at my corner. And I think there's going to be the Lions Club will be involved with some type of hot dogs and drinks, cold drinks and stuff. So, and if you need any other information, you feel free to call me at 520-2148. Second thing on my list is we have a homeless person living on the corner of A and B. This is right across from Rodney's property, right on that corner. He appears to be living in his camper with a step stool to get in the back, a car, and a makeshift trailer, and has been there for over a month with a tarp. I'm making assumptions that he's probably using our Weirden Park bathroom facility, I'm hoping, but I don't know this. So I'd like if someone would at least go and knock on his door and ask him how things are going. That would be wonderful. The third thing is, the reason I was asking the sheriff about crime, we've had a neighborhood watch on my block. I do my end, and Steve and Claudia do the rest of it. We seem to manage that quite well with, a block scenario. I'm not real fond of a bunch of, and I'll use the word a dozen, men walking around the community with flashlights, looking at all hours of the night in my alley and on my property. Especially when I do not know who's in the group. I do know Jason, I do know Damien, I have no issues, and I have no issues with the program. I do have issues with how this has all come about. I see it on the front page of the newspaper of how someone's going to start protecting me. And if this is the case, let's just drop the sheriff, save ourselves $79,000 a year. I mean, if we're going to turn this over to 12 people in the community to go around and start watching us. So that's my comment for today, and I hope that you will reconsider this, because I maybe can see this going south real quick. Thank you very much. Oh, stay safe, stay healthy, social distance.
Thank you, Judy.
You're welcome.
Any other public comment?
You said that
Oh, hold on.
the sheriff talk to these guys and went over the rules,
Yes.
so I don't see any concern there.
May I comment to Randy real quick?
Absolutely.
Just a little bit of
Yeah, you can.
information here. I'll go back up here. One of my concerns is this started, and I'm going to just generically say about a month and a half ago, possibly. The two of them ran somebody out of town. And I don't really think just because they were driving up and down the alley, they escorted this car out of town because they didn't think they belonged here. And I'm not quite sure, and I know the sheriff has talked to them and told them their boundaries and etc. But I'm still a little concerned of crossing that fine line. And that's what my big concern is crossing the fine line and calling the sheriff rather than handling it.
Any other public comment? Hearing none. This meeting is adjourned at 8:01 a.m.
Is there no more elected official comment?
Oh, I am so sorry. I moved right ahead. That was unintentional.
I just wanted to ask a question.
Elected official comment.
I wanted to ask a question on the, up here on your mayor's report, the
Yes.
A Street moratorium.
Mhm.
What, I'm not clear on this. What is the deal for getting a grant to fund the regulations?
Well, so if we're going to change if we're going to change our development regulations, the historical district and everything, there's going to be a little bit of planner and attorney involved in that, and I'd like to find someone to pay for it instead of us.
So if it's like an update, wouldn't that money that we got, the grant to update the thing, isn't that, this is an update, could we not use those funds?
Oh, the money that we use for the
Yeah,
comprehensive
for
plan?
the comprehensive.
Perhaps, yeah. I need to talk to the source for that. I've been talking with the Lewis County Economic Development Council about it
Okay.
to see if Matt Modiyoshi, I was talking to him just yesterday about it and earlier this week as well, about maybe if they could be interested in helping the city out with development since they're
Some additional funds.
yeah, just something like that. If this does not, I'm not going to spend too much more time working on this. I want to get this thing closed out and not drag our feet on it. So
Okay, that's what I was just wondering about, if we couldn't use the existing grant funds. When do we close this out with the comp plan update?
the comp plan's done.
Okay, so how much funding is left over from that then, and how much of that can we continue to use?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question. I needed to talk to. I was trying to start local instead of more local at the county level, instead of trying to talk to the state about things because that takes longer. But that's a possibility. I'll need to look into that too. I want to talk to Department of Commerce and see if they could help with that too. But those tend to be longer processes to get grants like that.
That's what I was wondering. How do we account for that money once we're finished with, or do we get to keep it and use it
No.
on a continuing thing?
No.
Unfortunately. Okay, all right. That was my
Okay.
question.
Any other comments from elected officials? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned at 8:03 a.m. Everyone have a good morning. Thank you.